Okay, hi guys. I wasn't going to do another video anytime soon, other than the next sermon video. But before that comes out, I felt it put on my heart to talk about one of the hardest things about being autistic, and that is how others view you. The fact is, as autism, HS, any disorder you have that's unseen, you have people in two categories. You have the people who respond, "Oh, you don't look autistic," which belittles these struggles and everyday intricacies that we as autistics go through. But you also have the people who change. I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I had a teacher, one of my favorite teachers, and I was taking a class called Earth Space Systems. And in that class, the first half you study about the Earth, about outer space, about basically everything, even medical stuff. And the second half of the class, you get to do a project that at the end of the year you get to present to NASA. It's one of my coolest accomplishments to be able to say, I spoke at NASA to scientists. I gave a presentation. But during that class, at the very beginning of that class, part of the work we were doing every day, the teacher would ask a question. And the first day she asked me, "Anna, what is the circumference of the Earth?" And we had learned that the day before, so I gave her the number. Of course, scientists are estimating, but still, I gave her the number. And the next day she came in and she did the questions again, and it was different questions this day. But my question ended up being, "Anna, what's the shape of the Earth?" And the way she said it was more like, "Anna, what's the shape of the Earth?" And I went, "A sphere?" And she goes, "Oh, I would have been happy with circle. Great job." Right there and then, I knew she had read my IEP, because the way she treated me went from seeing me as very intelligent to seeing me as someone who needed more help and more specialty. Another example of where having an IEP or having people know about my disorder backfired on me was in elementary school. So in elementary school and middle school, more middle school than elementary, I would say, we had to take tests, standardized tests, just like a lot of the kids take nowadays. Because of my issues, my hypertonia, I had at that time really bad handwriting. Can't say it's the greatest now, but hey, it's better than a doctor's handwriting now. Um, but so I was allowed to type up my answers. So I had to go to the special education group's computer lab to do my test. Now, this is a type of test that when you're done, you have to put your head down. You're not allowed to draw, not allowed to read. All you can do is sit there. Maybe nap if you can fall asleep. Well, I took the test. I finished within a half hour. Now, another teacher came in to let them know when other classes had finished. I heard when my class finished, and I wanted to go. It was about an hour into it that the rest of my class finished. And to say I passed it with good grades, okay? I wanted to go back to my class, and I asked them, they said, "I'm sorry, no, you can't leave here until everyone in this room is done the test." Well, that meant I had to sit there for 3 more hours because the other kids might not have been up to the level I was at. They might have had developmental delays or dyslexia or other issues, which I'm so happy they got their help. But to force a kid to have to stay in the room while she knows her class, because her teacher had promised, is having a movie day and getting to watch a movie and have popcorn and all. And because I had to have a little extra help, I missed out on the movie. I missed out on the popcorn because that was what happened. And as an adult, I can say it hurt. So even today, I have people who treat me differently. I have family members who don't understand autism, so they're like, when they hear that I still don't drive, they're like, to my mother, they're like, you're babying her, and things like that, which is very frustrating. I also have family members and people who are like, oh, well, I'm not sure you're able to do that because you're autistic. Remember, can't is a word that isn't in my dictionary. The fact of the matter is, although I am so thankful when people do help and do make understandings and listen to me and maybe change the way they deal with me by my autism, I still struggle with standing out. That probably also goes back to being a kid. When I was a kid, along with the autism, because of the hypertonia, I had to be pulled out of class for physical therapy. And my physical therapist had me ride a bike. Now, at the time, I loved the bike. I loved this little tricycle that I got to ride around the school. Until classes and teachers and other students started going, oh, you're the girl that rides the tricycle around the school. Oh, why do you get to go ride a tricycle? Well, we have to stay here and work. And things like that. Even though I was getting help as a kid, I didn't understand that. All I saw was I was being singled out as different, and I saw it affect how people treated me. And so today, as an adult, I'll admit one of my biggest struggles, biggest autism struggles, is a mixture of empathy and of not wanting to stand out. So you will find that if I'm at a party or in a large group thing, I tend to go to a small space or to the edge of the group. I don't like to sit in the middle of the group because then I feel like everyone's watching me. Now, that being said, I will admit I am doing my first theater production. I'm super excited for it. Nervous also, but I'm super excited. I'm not so much scared of the audience watching because I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it for fun. But I do, when I'm in the training and things like that, I have seen that I get nervous. I maybe stumble over my words some because I feel like everyone's watching me, which they probably are because it's my turn to speak. And that's why I'm doing the theater play, is to step out of my comfort zone. Because I have found in life stepping out of your comfort zone is one of the biggest things to help you. And so I'm excited about it. I'm not coming on here to talk about it because I want to brag or because I want to say, oh, look at me, I need so much help. No. I'm coming on here to remind you that whether it's dealing with a person who's autistic, a person with Down syndrome, a person with developmental delays, a person with anger management issues, everyone wants to be treated like they're welcomed. Everyone wants to be treated like they're accepted. I know not everyone's going to like me, and I'm okay with that. But it's still hard. And the empathy part of it that I did mention, autistics, most people think they have no emotions. That is not the case. We tend to be very emotional. That's why you see the meltdowns. It's also why when I come into certain rooms, I get nervous. There are certain times that I come into rooms where I feel the tension, where someone's having a bad day. My mind automatically goes, I did something wrong. Also, I don't know about others because I can only speak for myself. But I have had times, frequent times, I even have it with my own mom a lot of times, where if they're tired, if they're upset, if they're whispering, my brain automatically goes, they're mad at me. They don't like me. Now, is that their problem? No, that's my problem. And I am learning to deal with it. But I wanted to come on here to tell you, even with that, God has used that to push me out of my comfort zone. God has used that to help me be more empathetic to the children I work with. God has let me do so many amazing things, and I'm so thankful. I pray this all. Goodbye.